What up, G-Life? It's your boy MC Shadow back at you with another video. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and if possible, share, because it does help my channel. Now, what I wanted to talk about was something interesting that I had seen was commented towards me. It says, "Why do I get so defensive when it comes to when they criticize gang members and all of that? Clearly, that it's my pride, and I'm just blinded by it." Everyone has their opinion, and um, I respect people's opinions on how they want to view the matters. But see, that's just assuming that it's my pride because I'm a gang member. You're gonna assume that that's why it is, when it's not. Because if it would be that, then I wouldn't be, um, always saying that it's not worth this life ain't worth it, and etc. etc. I would try to make excuses or try to justify the lifestyle, um, by trying to get people, by saying that there's nothing wrong with living like that, when there is. Why I get so defensive and so frustrated is that people um, are targeting the wrong thing, right? They think is this. They think that they behave like this because of this. They, all the people that are not gang related think that they know why gangs start. They think they know what gang members do. They think they know how the gangster life is run when they have absolutely no idea whatsoever. How could you possibly? You're not a gang member yourself. Um, what you go based on TV shows and everything like that, it's kind of like saying, okay, you're gonna believe what you're seeing on the news. If you believe that, how come you don't believe the other stuff that the news says? You don't get to pick and choose what you believe. Oh, so the news is just right about this, but they're wrong about everything else? You don't get to pick and choose. You get what I'm saying? Um, Only at a convenience they're telling the truth. uh, it's funny. Um, Clearly it's you know, their frustration and their overall view on the lifestyle that allows them to make others see. Because of people like that is the reason why these problems still exist. They think that they know it all, and they think that they know the solutions and answers, and they go out there, talking a good one, and just aggravating the situation even more, and just they're pretty much the fuel that keeps added to the fire. You know what I mean? They want them to be respectful and to show respect and to whatever, but yet they're always talking shit about them, and all that, when these individuals aren't telling you a damn thing. Yeah, you're always over here talking your shit, and then you wonder why they behave the way they behave. It's ridiculous. Um, because if there's one thing that I've learned, through the research that I have done and stuff like that, is that people think that areas get fixed, right? Example, when they gentrify areas, right? They get these gang members, these hooligans out of there, right? They're cleaning up the streets. They're not cleaning up the streets. The only thing that's happening is that it's kind of like saying, you clean your room, right? You pick up all the mess that's on the floor, all your dirty clothes and everything from your room. You grab it, and then you go to your parents' room or to your siblings' room, and then you throw it all on the floor right there. And then you go back to your room, and you're like, bam, there, I cleaned my room. Did you really clean the room? Or did you just really just grab the mess and just moved it somewhere else and then said, there, you fixed the problem? Yeah? For the people that walk into your room, it gives the illusion that the room is clean. It gives the illusion that you did a good job, that you kept the area clean and everything like that, and all that. But then you can see that the problem never got fixed, because now all the shit's in a different room. You get that from when people were like, man, I remember when Palmdale used to be a cool area, it was nice, and then now there's just a bunch of gangs everywhere. Or people when they're saying that Riverside used to be chingon, now there's a bunch of gangs everywhere. Or because that's what tends to happen. Not only that, being from the streets, you hear about new gangs starting all the damn time. Like, wow, there's a bar over there now. Yeah, they barely started and everything. Why do these new gangs keep popping up? Because they're not really cleaning up the streets, my boy. They're not really fixing the problem. The only thing that's happened is they're raising the fucking rents in certain areas and forcing those families out of there. They're not fixing problems, my boy. They're making problems worse. Um, You know what I'm saying? Because in areas and towns where there's like more jobs, right? Where there's actually work, and their economy is stable, the less chance you're gonna find chaos there, right? Because the families are financially stable, right? They're good, right? So the pressure of life isn't thrown upon a parent, because that is gonna spill onto your child, and most parents don't know how to handle those kind of situations, and the reason why their kids turn out the way that they turn out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that they do it on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Um, being a parent is a tough task. You know what I mean? Um, in reality, if you're ready to have kids, don't have kids, because when you're not ready to have kids, that's how these kids turn out to be hooligans. Um, you know what I mean? Neglection is another form of it. When you don't spend time with your child, when you don't, communicate with each other, if you guys don't have bonding time, um, at least 3 or 4 times out of the week, you should have bonding time where you guys play board games together, or go outside and play basketball or football, or tag, or yes, you playing with your kids. It's not strange. Not playing with them is the strange part. You're building trust, you're building communication, you're building friendship. You know what I mean? You're building memories, which is the most important part of it all. Because if you're just financially buying stuff, you're not being a parent. If all you're doing is just like buying them something whenever they want it, that's not being a parent, my boy. Like, when you guys are chilling, if they come and ask you something, you tell them, hey, I'm busy right now. Go over there. That's not being a good parent, my boy. Remember, if your children come and tell you something, whoever you're talking to has to wait. My boy, your kids come first. What they're saying is more important than what anybody else has going on. You know what I mean? Because then what's going to happen is that they're going to stop coming to you and asking you stuff, because for what? You always tell them to go away. We'll talk about it later. That they're going to get to the point that why even bother asking? Clearly, everyone else's conversation is more important than what I have to say. Even though you know that that's not true, you know that that's not how you meant it and stuff like that. Being children and dealing with a bunch of new emotions, right? Because they hit puberty, and a bunch of emotions that they're not used to handling. They're overwhelmed, right? So they're common sense is not so easy for them. They start rushing to conclusions. They start thinking about other shit, and feeling like that a lot of kids are over dramatic. You know what I mean? They like their life is going to shits, or is falling apart, or whatever, over every little thing. You think it's the end of the world. Same with the affection with your parents. You know what I'm saying? You think that you're just not good enough, that they don't like you, they don't want to spend time with you, and everything. And more, especially when they're talking to their friends in school, and their friends are, oh yeah, me and my dad, we were playing this, and then he's wondering why he doesn't have none of that. You know, that's why your grandparents could be in your life and everything like that, but you felt like you still didn't have anybody, because even though they're your grandparents, they're good people and everything. Like me, I was raised by my grandparents, and everything like that. They're not your actual parents, my boy, and they're not your actual parents. You know what I'm saying? Um, or when it's Father's Day or Mother's Day, if they don't have, like, what are the other, everyone's making cards at school for their father, and then homie's right there wondering why he ain't got nobody. You know what I'm saying? Um, because all of that shit starts building up and adding up. You get what I mean? Um, when there's no bonding time, no communication, like, look, people always say this. Nowadays, generation's always on the technology. They don't go outside and play and all of that. Okay. These very exact people that are saying this are always on their devices and never playing with their kids and stuff like that. They're always stuck on their social medias or on their devices. You want your kids to go outside and play? Go out there and play with them. Don't say turn off the PlayStation and go play outside. Tell them that let's go outside and play, and they'll do it in a heartbeat, my boy. They'll be excited that their parents finally playing with them. You get what I'm saying? You gotta lead by example. So the reason I get frustrated is because people are concentrating all their energy and sources on trying to fix a problem that's not even the problem. Gangs haven't always existed, so what made those first batch of gang members if those gangs weren't there? If gangs weren't there, then what made that first batch? People are saying that it's because of gangs, the gangs weren't always there. Gangs didn't always exist. So what made the first batch? And could it not be the same thing that made that first batch of gang member is what keeps making them? That's why you get all these new gangs popping out all over the places. Because they're just relocating. You're fucking up the economy, you're going to get more problems. The economy keeps getting worse, you're going to get more gangs. The reality of it. You know what I'm saying? Can't put a bandage on a crack and say, there, it's fixed. You gotta get to the source of problems and stop wasting your time on bullshit. You want gangs and all that shit to stop? Be a better parent. You can't do nothing about the sets and gang members that are already there. Concentrate on raising a better future. Because then now these gangs don't have anybody to recruit because now these kids don't want to be gang members. So what happens? Those gang members get old. The gangs die out. Be a better parent. But if you keep just thinking about yourself instead of your children, gang members are going to keep getting produced. I'm just saying, shadow, we out.